His Excellency Governor of Tokat, Honorable Members of Parliament, Mr. Mayor, TIE's Executive Director, Mr. John Bruno, TIE's Vice President and President of the Eurasian Chapter of TIE's, Murtaza Bey, colleague ambassadors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm indeed delighted to be here in this beautiful city of Tokat to participate in this most important conference. I must at the outset compliment the organizers of thinking of this at a time when it's most needed. This is a time when we are all facing major catastrophe all around the world. I'm not talking about the pandemic as we speak. There are floods ranging from Germany, Belgium to the Black Sea coast here to the western coast of India. There are landslides all over. That's got us to think, and it is time to think and reflect whether what is happening now, who is responsible? I think we are all responsible for this, for what we have done to Mother Nature. It's high time that we brainstorm and see what we are going to do, and tourism and sustainable tourism is absolutely important in this respect, because tourism is a major engine of economic growth for many countries, and many countries, including Turkey, have transformed their economies by using tourism. However, tourism is a double-edged sword. I mean, on the one hand, particularly when it comes to sustainability, on the one hand, it can provide a lot of opportunities, employment, investment, and while it stimulates also support to the local communities, it can also put pressure on the fragile ecosystem and lead to degradation of physical environment and cause disruption of wildlife. And it's could be a significant contributor to local and global pollution. So we are left in a catch-22 situation. In sustainable tourism, the answer to this catch-22 situation is sustainable tourism, where we have to increase the positive impacts while reducing the negative fallout. I'm reminded of my stint in a beautiful island country called Seychelles, where I was the ambassador, which was confronted with this situation, exactly this situation 6 to 7 years ago. I mean, Seychelles primarily relied on tourism, while its major concern was to protect the fragile marine ecosystem. And it eventually found the answer by embracing blue economy, of which sustainable tourism and ecotourism were very, very important segments. In fact, ecotourism is now a powerful tool for the conservation of forests and biodiversity and wildlife. So I'm reminded today of what we say in India. We call our planet Mother Earth. And our ancient scriptures also say, keep pure, for the earth is our mother, and we are her children. Let me also share with you another Indian saying, Atithi Devo Bhava, which means guests are akin to God. So, India, we always wonder, there's so much of tourism potential in India. I mean, it's got pristine forests, snow-clad mountains, the Himalayas, mountain grasslands, and what have you, the beaches, architecture. But the tourism inflow into India has not been to the extent that it should have been, and it keeps us wondering why. So now, Incredible India 2.0 has adopted this Atithi Devo Bhava, guests are God, as its tagline for promoting tourism. But all this is very important to dovetail into what Incredible India 2.0 has now adapted. It is identifying ecotourism not only as a niche tourism product, along with digital and social media and promoting yoga, wellness, but at the same time, it is also now brought out some sustainable tourism criteria for India, STCI. And it is mandatory for now all approved tour operators and travel agents to follow the code of conduct for safe and sustainable tourism. Now I'll briefly touch upon the India-Turkey tourism cooperation in the bilateral front And it's only in recent years, and thanks to Murtaza Bey, I think there has been a huge spurt in tourist inflow into Turkey, and the growth which was almost 40 to 50% in 2019. But one of the main reasons for which Murtaza Bey is well aware, it's a recent development of Indian fascination of tying the knot in Turkey. There is a tagline which goes, I think, popularized by him, which the marriages are made in heaven but solemnized in Turkey. So, no wonder Indians spend 32 million US dollar on destination weddings, and the target, post-pandemic annual target for getting married in Turkey is 100 million US dollar. That is how this figure has been set. So, destination weddings and shooting Bollywood films have become significant revenue earners for Turkey, and these are getting developed, and I know it will reach very far if the huge potential can be tapped optimally. So physical infrastructure is very important in the tourism sector, and I feel that Turkey, with its expertise and experience, can really help in developing the tourism infrastructure in India. There are many Turkish firms who are involved, so I invite them to come and do it. But I think we'll all have to wait and see. And Mr. Bruno said everybody is waiting to get into the tourism mode, and that is why we are all here in Tokat also. So after a big break. But I wanted to also tell you that the COVID-19 crisis is actually a watershed moment. I mean, we have to look at the opportunities from this crisis and align our efforts so that while we become responsible tourists, while at the same time we ensure that the SDGs, our Sustainable Development Goals, are met, and we ensure a more resilient, inclusive, carbon neutral and resource efficient future for all of us in tourism. We have to step up international collaboration, build back better, or in other words, ensure a cleaner, technology-driven green recovery of the tourism sector that is both sustainable and eco-friendly. Thank you for your attention.